Hello everybody, welcome back to Rapetrain Studios. I'm Skrilly, I'm here with Chaos,
Hello.
Badass, and then I've got a special guest who some of you may remember as the legendary SwipertheFox from FimFiction.net, who is doing something right now.
That is a lot of narration, bro.
It's not that much narration. Anywho, we're reading as we said on our
6 paragraphs of narration itself.
as we said on our really badly recorded intro video that echoes everything twice.
Oh my god.
You probably heard that we were going to read a bad fan fiction. I mean, sorry about that. Got caught in a loop. And so this is a Forbidden Love.
Darling, they want to go right to the bay.
This is a Forbidden. Okay, so this is a Forbidden Love by Evening Storm. And Hun, can you read it? Because otherwise, I'll do it.
You can let me do it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So, evening.
So you're gonna do. So you're gonna narrate and do. So you're gonna.
Shadow have been on their own for 16
Okay, restart,
years.
man, because I gotta cut my mic out. So.
Oh,
So you're gonna be the narrator and the son. All right. Well. All right. Ready? Go.
What am I doing here then? Why am I even on here?
All right, Swiper. You have the floor.
Well, do you want to do it? I don't know.
I think your iPod crashed.
Stand and criticize as I wish. Just go.
Okay.
That'll work.
All right. Ready, set, go.
Okay. Evening Storm and his son, Luminous Shadow, have been on their own for 16 years. Lumen's mother died at birth, so it was up to Evening to make sure that Lumen had a good childhood. He was 16 now and practically a stallion. In these years, the relationship they shared had only gotten stronger. In truth, they feel more than just a father-son love. They want to be lovers. Evening has kept this secret in fear of ruining the relationship he shares with his son. But it's also due to it being a forbidden love, as he calls it.
The forbidden zone.
Hides the secret because he thinks his father could never be a cold cuddler, since he was even there in the first place. Is that going okay? I'm trying to read it a bit luridly.
You're doing fine.
Alright. What would Dad think if he knew I was a cold cuddler? That is the question that Lumen feared every day. He wants to tell his father about his true feelings, but how could he? Evening wants to tell his son the truth, but his greater fears prevent it.
That's me.
Not sure who the hell is saying what.
What would
paragraph.
Lumen say?
Yeah. That's your. That's your. Wait. What the?
What would?
Now, who
What
does
would?
that?
Wait.
Oh
who-
yeah. No. This is you. This is you, Joe. Chaos. That's you. I'm not kidding. That's you. You have to read it. Read it in Duke Nukem's voice. Or Kool-Aid Man. This is fucking Evening. It says it comes into Evening's mind. This is you.
Oh,
this is all
okay.
you.
Okay. What would Lumen say? What would my mom or sister think of me? Why would I? Why am I thinking of these questions? All questions come.
Oh no, that's narration now.
Yeah, I see that
Oh.
now.
Bitch, please.
All questions that come to Evening's mind. He feels as though he should tell Lumen, but how could he? Things changed one morning, however. One morning at breakfast, Evening was making pancakes when Lumen woke. He was hard from the dream he had about his father just rutting him. He promised himself that the dream would become reality, if at all possible. So instead of relieving himself, he wailed into the bathroom with his stallion hood swinging freely under him. He started the shower, and he let the water softly soften his mother. Now, who reads the kid again? And now he's talking.
You. You read the kid.
Okay. Thanks, Celestia, I have a bathroom on my bedroom, Lumen said to himself. If Dad saw this, he would probably have a heart attack.
And that, kids, is why you don't do heroin.
Downstairs.
And then I guess,
That's it.
Okay.
It starts with you. It starts with you. You narrate the first sentence, and the rest of this shit is chaos.
It is.
Okay.
At
yeah.
parts.
Yeah. Downstairs, Evening hears a shower start up.
Well, I guess Lumen is
Awake now.
awake now. Perfect thing too.
He smiles at no pony but himself.
I hope he hurries so that the pancakes don't get cold.
My name's Larry the Cable Guy.
The imposter gets stoned. Is he even trying? Oh well. Evening thinks to the previous night. That night was strange, to say the least. When Lumen went off to bed, he gave Evening a hug like always, but this time he could swear to Celestia that Lumen had run a hoof over his flank. At the time, Evening didn't think anything of it. It happens occasionally between them, but last night it felt different. Instead of just an accident, it seemed intentional. Could Lumen have intentionally rubbed his flank? Evening didn't see how. It wasn't even like Lumen to do anyway, so why assume?
Probably just a coincidence. It didn't mean anything, right?
Evening sighs and he chuckles.
Look at me. I'm asking myself questions I can't answer. Is that the first step in insanity? In insanity?
Yes, it's total insanity. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to... Alright. So Lumen turned off the shower. His stomach was now soft and hidden beneath the sheath. He loved feeling of the water just running down his body. He remembers all the baths and showers he used to take with his father. He smiles and says, "Those were great moments. I love him so much. I want to be with him forever. I don't care if he's my dad. I just want him." Lumen walks downstairs into the kitchen. "Good morning, Dad."
Second. I can't find where the hell I am. Oh. Good morning, Lumen. How did you sleep?
"I slept better than normal. I had a wonderful dream."
Oh,
Evening asked curiously.
what was it about?
"Oh, I don't remember. I just know that it was good." He gives a fake and unconvincing smile.
I haven't seen a worse fake smile. Well, okay then. If you ever remember, I would love to hear it. I can guess what it was though.
"Oh, yeah, okay. I'll keep you informed, Dad." That was close. I need to be more careful.
Great. What do you want with the pancakes?
Blueberries and strawberries with syrup, please.
Coming right up. Go ahead and sit at the table. Everything should be out there already.
Okay, Dad. Lumen goes out to the dining room and sits down, thinking about his dream. His dad had rutted him. Right where he sat now, he feels a small tingle in his sheath at the thought of his dad rutting him there, filling him with his...
Stop putting a taser on yourself.
Oh. I love you, Lumen. I want to be your lover. Will you have me?
Lover spelled L-U-V-A.
Oh, gosh.
He's starting to sound like 50 Cent now. Yo, dog, I feel in love with you.
I'll try. I'm feeling it's just so weird. I'm almost tingly now.
Yeah.
Of course I will, Dad. I've loved you for so long. You will never know how much I want this. When his daydream ends, Lumen noticed that he is slightly hard again. Right here at the table. Surely he won't be able to hide it from his dad. And if he did while they ate, there was no chance he could hide it when he stood. "Oh no, I'm so going to be in trouble for this," Lumen moaned sadly. Just at that moment, Evening came in with 2 plates of pancakes with different assortments of fruit and cooked-in syrup.
Here you are, Lumen.
Evening sits down, one plate in front of Lumen and the other across from him. Evening sits and starts to eat. Dad, Can I ask you something? Lumen fidgets a bit, trying to get comfortable with his hardening member under the table.
You can ask anything, Lumen. I'm your father.
Luke, I am your father.
Evening reaches across the table and runs a hoof through Lumen's mane before going to his pancakes. What if I was a cold cuddler? Lumen asked so quietly Evening could barely hear him. Evening stopped eating and stared at his son, who fidgets a bit more.
It wouldn't matter to me. You're my son. I love you for who you are. If you are a little stallion, if you were to like little stallions, I would be okay with that and accept it. You are who you are. I can't and won't try to change that.
Lumen smiles as his father finishes his reply, his stallion hood completely stiff and pressed up against the table. What if there was a stallion I wanted to be with, but I was too scared to tell him how I feel? Evening ponders just a moment before answers.
Tell him anyway. Despite the fear or rejection, if you don't say anything, you will never know if he feels the same way. It's better to know the truth than to go on wondering.
His dad was right. Lumen was scared his dad would hate him, that he would love him for who he is. Lumen was worried on how to tell his true feelings, and his father said it was best to just say it. This was it. Dad, I love you.
I love you too, Lumen. I always will.
No, I mean, I love you. Lumen brushes brightly as the realization slowly appears across Evening's face. Dad, I love you. I want to be more than just your son. I want to be your lover. That dream I had of wondering about you was about you just screwing me right here at this very table. I just want you, Dad, and I have for years. Evening just sat there, staring at Lumen's blushing face. His son was a cold cutter, and he never noticed till now. Really? You didn't notice until then? Come on.
Dumbass.
Not just that, but Lumen
We
wanted
have gaydar, okay? Jesus fuck. I'm
Evening had
bisexual
wanted
and
to
even I have some. Right?
Yeah.
And you're straight and you have some.
The same thing for just as long as Lumen did. Evening stood and walked around the table with Lumen, and after a moment kissed him full on the lips. Well, that escalated quickly.
I'm gonna put the GIF there. And the photo. The well that escalated quickly image, I'm just gonna put that right there.
Yeah.
Just for like 30 seconds.
Oh, is it still me? Christ, there's a lot of information. Lumen's eyes widened in surprise and sudden lip lock.
Just whisper it.
As slowly his eyes became heavy, and all he could think about was the love he had for his father. Evening broke the kiss after a minute and looked into Lumen's eyes. He loved everything about his son. His white coat, his blue mane, his gray eyes. He resembled his mother more than himself. And, oh god, this is getting creepy. That you're screwing a guy who reminds you of a dead girl.
It's a little weird. This is going a little, medieval.
Yeah. Lumen was even born a unicorn. Wait, he was born a unicorn? He's not a unicorn anymore? Did he have, like, horn surgery or something?
He had it removed.
Yeah, had it removed.
He is now an earth pony, which is the equivalent of a woman.
Yes. He loved his son more than just about any pony in his life, and he was ready to prove it.
Lumen, I want you to know your feelings are completely returned. That's just a little weird. Completely. I would have said, like, I would have put completely mutual, but okay. I have always loved you, but in the past few years, I wanted to be your lover. I have been terrified to find out what your aunt and grandmother would think, but now I only care about one thing. That thing is loving you the way only a father can. I want to make your dreams real. Only the way a father can. That's a little weird.
Oh boy. All Lubin does to answer evening is to stand from his seat, revealing his rock-hard member to his father. He then moves up and wraps his hooves around Evening's neck, kissing him lovingly and passionately. His horn starts to grow with a light blue aura, and he uses his magic to massage Evening's sheath and his balls. Gently. Ah, boy. Evening felt the magic massaging him gently. Well, you just said that, you don't need to say it again. Okay, his own stallionhood starting to emerge. He lifted himself onto his hind hooves and pulled Lumen up to who wrapped his hind hooves around Evening's waist. Suddenly, everyone's playing Twister.
Right hoof green.
Green stallionhood red. Alright, Lumen's stallionhood was now pressed up against Evening's belly and his
And his
I think this is you, yeah.
Yeah, and his own. Okay, Lumen, are you sure this is what you want?
Yes, was all Lumen said before pulling Evening into another deep kiss, sliding his tongue into his father's mouth and playing with his tongue. Sword fight! Tongue on tongue!
Tonsil hockey!
Yeah. Evening walked forward and pressed Lumen back against the dining room table. He never thought he was going to get more than just pancakes this morning, but now he's getting some of his son's flank. Not a bad morning at all. Part of every balanced breakfast. Burn calories and get to fruit. Alright, Lumen unwraps his hooves from Evening's waist so they could get in position. I can't believe it. My dad is about to rub me dry, and with no protection. This will be fun. Lumen breaks the kiss and says, Please, Dad, I want you inside of me. And then, at his son's request, Evening presses his hard member against his son's own plot hole.
Are you ready, Lumen? It's going to hurt.
No pain, no gain. Yes, I'm ready. I want this. I want you. And then, as Evening presses flare tip into Lumen, Lumen bites his lip to keep from screaming.
Bite the pillow, I'm going in dry.
Oh, he is. Oh my god. He's not even like slathering a little syrup on his butt or something. He's just going right in for it. You know? Biology, what's that? Instead, he lets out a squeal. Eek! Beep! Ah! Okay.
Oh no, blood everywhere!
Evening just held there not moving, waiting for Lumen to readjust his member and let some of the pain dissipate. Then Lumen nodded his consent to continue. Evening slowly pushed in another inch before he waited again. Oh, Dad, it's okay. I can take more than 1 inch at a time.
I just
God.
I just don't want to hurt you more than necessary.
Well, you can be gentle, but you don't really need to worry. And then, with Lumen's reassurance, Evening pushed in a few more inches while letting out a soft no. The sun was so warm and tight, so Evening was surprised he didn't come already. And, Lumen was already getting used to the feeling, and it actually felt really good now. There was an ache, but it paled in comparison to the feeling of his throbbing member of his father. He wanted more of his father's stallionhood, and he wanted to see how much he could take. Dad, just give me all you can. It'll be okay. And Evening starts sliding in a bit faster. Now he's moaning. And Lumen sighs and forces Evening to sink to the hilt inside of them. Lumen gasps in pain, but midway it turns into a moan of pleasure.
Lumen, are you okay?
Oh, Dad, I'm fine. You know you just feel so good.
You feel amazing too, Lumen.
Evening then starts to pull out, but again sinks back slowly. Lumen's plot hole was massaging his member, coaxing it to come. Lumen's horn starts to glow again. This time it starts massaging Evening's balls. Lumen wraps a hoop around his own stallion hood and starts clapping himself. And, oh god, there's a lot of text here of sex. Not so well written. Okay, so evening begins putting more speed and power into each thrust. Lumen is pushing out into the table. He pulls Lumen into another kiss, moaning into his mouth and playing to his tongue again. Lumen starts bucking his hips in time with the father's thrust. He can't believe the feeling of being wedded. He didn't even imagine it would feel so wonderful. His father made his greatest fantasy come true, but just then evening broke the kiss and licked up Humans' horn. Oh no, they're going horn to horn, they're crossing the streams.
Don't cross the streams!
Immediately, a whole new euphoria, a feeling of heat ran through his blood. It only got better when Evening wrapped his mouth around his horn and sucked it vigorously when he thrusted faster and faster. But then, he accidentally shot off magic with his horn, and the other guy's head blew up. Wait, no. But I would write that. The nuts of evil. Okay, so the pressure Evening felt in his groin was immense, and obviously he was close to orgasm.
What the hell?
Go ahead and say.
Oh, let's see here. Okay. Lumen, I'm close.
Evening said through ragged breaths. Oh, just go inside me, Dad. I want your seed. Evening doubled his efforts on Lumen's horn as he thrusted. His son's tight walls were becoming too much, and he couldn't hold back much longer. The prolonged triple stimulation Lumen was receiving was too much right now. With a long, low moan, Lumen came, covering his face and chest and mouth with the thick seed, and at that moment he found his father burying himself inside him. Evening did bury himself to the base, his crown flaring and forming a plug inside Lumen. He shot load after load of his thick, warm, creamy seed deep inside his son. Just kind of making me want to buy a Twinkie now.
They're called cloud cakes now.
Oh yeah, different brands. Despite his flared head holding it in, some of Evening's cum still leaked out. They both stayed there, drowning the feelings of the best orgasms they had experienced in years. Oh boy, best orgasms they had experienced in years. Because he's 16, and then obviously this implies that they did something when they were even younger. As if 16 wasn't creepy enough. Oh boy. Almost done, almost done. After a minute more, Evening pulled out of Lumen with a soft, wet pop. I don't know if I can make the sound. It was just like a little bit of devilment gum. Because we have to pay the bills too, you know. We always have sponsorships. Selling out is fun. So that was the best he had had in so long. He loved his son, and he knew that Lumen loved him. So he kissed Lumen gently, lifting him onto his hooves. Lumen was already fading into sleep, and so he held the son, and they flew slowly and lazily downstairs to Lumen's room. Because one of them is a unicorn, another one is Earth Pony, so obviously they can fly. Evening placed Lumen's sleeping form on his bed, and he lay next to him. Evening ran a hoof through Lumen's soft mane and whispered, "I love you." He then kissed Lumen gently on the cheek, wrapped his hooves and wings around his son, and fell asleep. This was the beginning of a wonderful love that these two ponies would always cherish, until their grandmother came in, called for Child Protective Services, and immediately the father was boosted off to the moon. The end. No, just kidding, I just made that up. This is the beginning of a wonderful love these two ponies would always cherish. The end.
And nobody else does.
And with the amount of green versus red, that kind of looks like a lightsaber, I guess. Alright. And that's the end of that. So how'd you do? How do you think you did?
I don't know. And remember, there are no brakes on the rape train.
Okay.